Hi, I'm Oscarito, and this is the film Delicious. While vacationing in the French countryside, a wealthy German family hires a wounded young woman as a housemaid, unaware of her sinister intentions.
It's beautiful here, peaceful and calm.
The film opens amid the chaos of civil unrest in the streets of France. A car pushes through the turmoil, carrying a German family, Mother Esther, Father John, son Philippe, and daughter Alba. Escaping the urban mayhem, they speed through the picturesque landscapes of Provence toward a private villa owned by Esther's father. This is where they plan to spend their summer holiday. As Esther and her daughter relax on sun loungers, John and Philippe enjoy the pool. That evening, ignoring calls from work, Esther books a dinner reservation at a local hotel restaurant. The family enjoys their evening. Alba entertains everyone with card tricks while Esther slips away to the restroom for a private phone call. She barely acknowledges the maid who brings her a towel, as if she's invisible. But the maid doesn't forget this slight. Later, the maid changes clothes, dashes out of the hotel, and hops onto a motorcycle with her boyfriend. On an empty stretch of road, he slices a deep gash into her shoulder. It needs to look like an accident. Meanwhile, the German family is on their way back to the villa when their car suddenly hits something. They stop and find a girl on the roadside bleeding from her arm. Believing they may be responsible and slightly intoxicated, the adults decide not to call the police. Esther offers to treat the wound at home. They bring the girl, Theodora, back to the villa. While she sizes up the disarray in the kitchen where leftover food has attracted insects, Esther settles her into the guest house and quietly leaves cash on the table as compensation. John, meanwhile, is busy scrubbing bloodstains from the car interior and inspecting the exterior for any sign of damage. Later, John asks his wife not to tell her father, the villa and car owner, about the incident. The next morning, Theodora takes a carefree swim in the pool, paying no attention to hygiene. Later, the gardener finds a bloodied bandage floating in the water. While stretching on the tennis court, John receives a call from his colleague Aki but ignores it. Esther checks the guest house, only to find that their guest has vanished, along with the money left for her. In the kitchen, the couple discusses her disappearance. Esther is relieved she left, but John worries they may have paid too little. That afternoon, while John is cooking, Theodora returns to the villa gates. The couple learns she's been fired from her hotel job, her wound deemed unsanitary. Esther plans to just give her more money, but Theodora insists she's not here to blackmail them. To avoid further complications, the couple agrees to let her stay temporarily. Theodora is moved back into the guest house, accompanied by Philip and Alba. Philip quickly connects with her while Alba remains wary. To break the ice, Theodora shows Alba a lighter trick: flame on, flame off with a single motion. During their conversation, it becomes clear the family sees French as a useless language, unlike English. That evening, John expresses doubts about hiring a stranger, but Esther says she just wants to relax and stop dealing with household chores. That night, John is startled by a noise and finds a bloodied marten on the floor. Theodora warns that rodents will become a problem if not exterminated, then hands him a poker to put the animal out of its misery. Reluctantly, John finishes it off. The next day, Theodora cleans the house. When John and Philip return from a bike ride, Esther cuts the cleaning short by yanking the vacuum plug from the wall. The noise annoys her, and she says it's only allowed when she's not home. In the children's room, Theodora leaves a pack of cigarettes and a lighter on the desk, catching Alba's attention. In an effort to bond, Theodora begins teaching her French words. While shopping with John and Philippe, Theodora spots former co-workers. One of them has a scar on her face. They pretend not to recognize her. While John steps into a cafe, Theodora chats with Philippe at a table. Later, he helps her strip the beds and she offers him raw meat, then teaches Alba how to slice it herself. That evening, guests arrive at the villa: Aki, his wife Cora, and their son. Over dinner, the conversation turns to class divides in Europe. Aki offers John help with his academic paper, which he claims is already published. Later, Esther questions John about this, but he dodges the subject. The next day, the family goes on a seaside outing. While the others swim, Esther and Theodora stay on shore. Esther confesses her fear of deep water. Distracted by a work call, she walks away, unaware Theodora's friends are nearby. Seizing the moment, Theodora steals Esther's phone. Alba sees it happen but says nothing. Esther can't find her phone. Theodora suggests buying a cheaper replacement, but Esther insists on the latest model. The two drive into town. During a tense phone call, Esther steps out to smoke with Theodora, opening up about her stress. That evening, after taking a sleeping pill, she refuses intimacy with John. Philip re-watches their vacation footage, focusing on clips of Theodora. The next morning, Theodora warmly engages John in conversation about bicycles, touching him with her interest. He invites her on a ride. She leads him into a garden of fruit trees where they eat with unmistakable sexual tension. Later, Esther catches Philip taking photos with Theodora. Alba complains that the maid stole her phone, but her mother doesn't believe her. During a bandage change, Theodora has reopened her wound, ensuring she'll need to stay longer. Esther invites her to dinner and lends her a dress. Gaining her trust, Theodora subtly exposes Alba, claiming the girl hid her mother's phone just to spend more time with her. That night, Theodora takes Esther to a nightclub, introducing her to her friends and a wealthy tourist named Amber. Lucian offers her a drink, and soon Esther is dancing, shedding her usual restraint. The group heads to the beach. Amber disappears. Only her belongings remain on the sand. Back at the villa, Esther falls asleep, while John goes to a cafe with Theodora, venting about his wife's growing distance. Esther finds her phone in Alba's closet, but the girl insists Theodora planted it and also stole her mother's lingerie. Esther doesn't believe her. She confronts John about Aki's visit. He finally admits he's being accused of falsifying research data and may be fired. He feels like Esther looks at him with contempt. Esther retreats to sleep in another room. Theodora enters with lemonade and a note from Lucien. Buoyed by the excitement of a summer fling, Esther heads out to meet him. The group rides their motorcycles into the Provençal night. By morning, John eats breakfast with the kids and Theodora. No one notices how fully she's inserted herself into their lives. Alba practices card tricks. Theodora asks for permission to invite a friend over, and John agrees. But the friend arrives with her boyfriend. Soon, Cora, Aki's wife, shows up after receiving a message from Esther. She's gone away for a couple of days. Seeing how deeply Theodora has embedded herself into the family, Cora points it out to John. It's revealed that they're having an affair, but John asks her to keep their relationship discreet around others. Meanwhile, Esther is enjoying a sunset beach outing with Lucien. Back at the villa, Theodora tucks Alba into bed. The girl begs her to stay a little longer, clearly craving maternal affection. Later that night, Philippe sneaks into Theodora's room and tries to take her photo. She catches him and, mocking him, sends him away. He leaves, embarrassed. Waking in the middle of the night, Esther heads to the kitchen and finds several packs of raw meat in the fridge. Lucien appears and casually explains it's for a barbecue. Theodora invites John to a party, but he declines. Alba tries to show him the lighter trick she learned, but he scolds her. Lighters aren't toys for children. Esther goes with Lucien to the party. There she realizes that all the guests are hotel workers, people whose faces she never really looked at. She begins to feel watched. Panic sets in and she calls her husband, but Lucien interrupts. In the bathroom, a burst of blood sprays from the drain. In another room, a girl is gnawing on a man's leg. As Esther stumbles outside, she runs into Theodora. The maid tells her she was never her friend. To wealthy tourists, the locals are faceless, disposable. There are many of us and few of you, Theodora says. Class struggle has taken a literal turn. The strong now devour the weak. Then Theodora bites Esther on the neck. That night, John wakes up in bed with Cora. Hearing noise by the pool, he goes downstairs. Theodora has thrown a party. When he returns inside, he finds Cora packing to leave. Alcohol does nothing to calm his nerves. Hearing a thump from the attic, John assumes it's the Martins again. But when he climbs up, he turns to find Theodora and her friends behind him, one of them holding a fire poker. A single blow, and the walls are splattered with blood. At dawn, Philippe returns to the villa, passing Cora's abandoned car. He sees Theodora's friends asleep and Alba curled up peacefully beside her, clutching the lighter her father had once confiscated. Satisfied his sister is safe, he walks away, unaware that Theodora is already awake. Later, the group of motorcyclists rides off from the villa, taking Alba with them. She hugs Theodora tightly. Left behind, Philippe finds a prepared dish waiting in the kitchen. He heats it up and begins eating, until he bites into something strange. It's his father's wedding ring. That's where the film ends.